Hello, my A-level students. I believe you are still safe and healthy. Once again, I'm teacher Ibrahim, your teacher for general studies and communication skills. This program, I need to remind you, is brought to you by the Rwanda Education Board in partnership with MASTERCARD Foundation, together with Inspire, Educate and Empower Rwanda. As you all know, that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the government of Rwanda closed schools in March, and this was done to control the spread of the virus among the people. For that reason, we have to study from home until school resumes in September of 2020. We are talking about the topic of national service and self-reliance. And under this topic, like I told you, we are trying to analyze and appreciate the importance of these two concepts in the development of our country. In the last lesson, we talked about the different activities and programs through which different categories of people can provide national service to our country. Today, we are talking about the various measures put in place to achieve self-reliance in Rwanda. Self-reliance means we rely or depend on our own efforts, abilities, and resources. If you are an individual, it means you have all the necessary means to support yourself without depending on another person. As a country, it means we have the necessary resources and the manpower to sustain and meet the needs of our people without having to rely on any other country to survive. Self-reliance is crucial in the socio-political and economic development of the country, and as individuals, we should support the government in its efforts aimed at attaining these crucial aims, because it is very important. Self-reliance is very crucial, like we said, in developing the country socially, politically, and economically. And as individuals, it is our duty to help the government in its efforts aimed at attaining its political, social, and economic development. The Rwandan government is always keen to promote self-reliance in the country, among the people especially. And to achieve this, it has come up with various measures. Some of these measures include what we are going to talk about today. Number one, we have sensitization of the community as regards or with regard to the importance of self-reliance. Self-reliance itself has empowered communities to provide for themselves without relying on external assistance. And in an effort to achieve self-reliance, the government has geared its efforts, put all its efforts towards creating awareness of the importance of self-reliance. This has been done through including the concept of self-reliance in the curriculum. When you go to school, you're taught about self-reliance and the importance of self-reliance. And then it provides for the students, it helps the students to study about it at school. And then we have campaigns. There have been campaigns to educate the population through publicity and advocacy campaigns or measures. And this is all done to ensure that people understand the importance of self-reliance and how it can be achieved. Most of the time, if you're going to ask or if you're going to, there's something that you want people to understand, you need to teach them. People must understand the importance of self-reliance, because it is very important that a person is self-reliant. It is very important that as a country, we are self-reliant and we don't have to rely on other people to provide services to our people. As the government needs to be self-reliant, needs to use the resources of the country without relying on the resources of other countries. Now, this one is a long-term project. It cannot be achieved within a very short time. You cannot just wake up and say, okay, from now on, we are not relying on any other person. You have to take a lot of steps. And step number one is teaching people about the importance of self-reliance. That's why there are very many campaigns, education programs, even in school. By the time you get out of school, you must have learned exactly why you need to be self-reliant, because self-reliance is the beginning of independence. I hope you understand that. Self-reliance is the beginning of independence. Number 2, the second measure put in place by the government to ensure that we have self-reliance in the country is the introduction of policies aimed at building inclusion and social cohesion. The government has introduced policies that encourage the involvement of people in national activities and a sense of togetherness and brotherhood in the population. These policies that the government has introduced are aimed at encouraging everyone to participate in national activities and to develop a sense of togetherness, what we call social cohesion. Now, policies such as deepening decentralization process, citizen involvement, and increasing local community empowerment help in achieving self-reliance. During our discussion of democracy and governance, we said decentralization is the process of delegating of power and responsibilities from the central government to the regional or local authorities, such as the districts and sector authorities. This is one of the processes through which citizens can easily access government services, which in turn makes it easy for people to become self-reliant. Number 3 is the poverty reduction initiatives. They are programs aimed at alleviating or elimination of poverty, reducing the level of poverty in the country. That is, there are different initiatives and measures the government has taken. Now, the government has introduced these policies to help address or deal with poverty in the country. There are partnership programs that have been initiated between the government and development partners such as the World Bank, IMF, the UN, the WHO, UNICEF, different development partners. And these many strategies and programs have been introduced to help in poverty reduction and even its eradication. Because reducing poverty is step 1, but the main objective is eliminating poverty. Many strategies and programs, like we said, have been introduced to further alleviate poverty in the country. And these are like programs such as Vision 2020, Umurenje program, Ude program, Giringa, and such programs are always aimed at helping everyone reach a level at which they can meet their needs without having to depend on anyone else. And this is what we call self-reliance.
Come along and play with us.
National service is measure number 4. Another measure is national service, which we call urugerero. We have looked at this before, where young people are drafted into different areas of government service, and this has changed the attitude of young people towards assisting government in carrying out its development activities. And in turn, it has enabled the country to reduce the expenses it normally has on providing services to the people to a very big extent. Like when young people provide free service, the government has like less money to spend, especially through employing different people. And the money saved is used for other development activities, and in turn, the country becomes more self-reliant and is able to increase its capacity at serving and meeting the needs of the citizens. And then, number 5 is voluntary service. The members of the community who are guided by their leaders have come up with solutions to their problems. And this is done with little or no assistance from the government and other external partners. Carrying out of voluntary community service, participating in voluntary community development programs and activities promotes self-reliance among the people. When you participate in these services, you learn a few skills, which means at the end of the day, you can help yourself become a better person. You can help yourself look after yourself better, look after your family. You learn a few skills. And then again, because this service is normally free, the money that is saved, because the people don't have to pay money for these services, especially the people in the community, especially the poor people. When you help these poor people, maybe by building their homes, by buying for them some food, in the long run, they tend to save some little money. And as you know, those of you who study economics and maybe entrepreneurship, you know that the foundation of becoming self-reliant and having a sustainable level of wealth is through saving and investment. So these people will end up saving some money, maybe buying some land, and being able to maybe cultivate some food, sell some of the food, and in the long run, they will become self-reliant. So by providing this voluntary service in our different communities, we are actually helping not only the country, but the individuals to become self-reliant.
Come along and play with us.
Now, there's the promotion of the culture of ubutore. The government has done everything possible to promote this culture among the population. Through this, it has helped promote and entrench people's dignity. It is very important that people have a sense of pride in them. Now, there are some times when you cannot help yourself, maybe you end up begging. But if you have a certain degree of values, a certain set of values and principles, values such as hard work, values such as commitment, such as patriotism, such as innovation, you learn these things, and at the end of the day, you become more creative, you become more innovative, you work hard and help to improve your situation. At the end of the day, you are going to improve your situation. No matter what, if you work hard, normally we say hard work leads to success. If you want to become successful, if you want to improve your situation, you work hard. And hard work always pays. The culture of ubutore helps to promote these values, and it has enabled leaders to promote cultural values among the citizens. It has also been able to train people who teach others these values. They are those mentors, and to establish structures of the same in government institutions and the population as a whole. Like, the government has come up with these programs at different levels to teach young people especially. Even the mature people, the more mature people who may still need to learn, because learning never stops. You keep learning each and every day. The government keeps teaching these people the different values, a sense of pride and dignity, the honesty, the value of hard work, the role of innovation and creativity, how to manage a small income, how not to waste it, because sometimes if you make very little money but you want to live an extravagant life, you are going to end up poor and to remain poor because you are simply wasting the little income that you're probably making. And the government ensures that people are taught at different levels how these values that are usually instilled, especially in the young people, the values of helping one another, social cohesion, inclusion, being able to live together, help one another. We've talked about the Uday program. And all of those help in making everyone self-reliant. Number 7 is the promotion of the health insurance scheme. People, as we all know, nobody can be self-reliant if they're not in good health. This is the reason behind the government's promotion of a health insurance scheme for every citizen. Various strategies have been undertaken towards achieving health insurance for everyone. And for example, we have the government changed the policy on health coverage, and by 2013, over 90% of Rwandans had benefited from the program called Mutuelle de Santé. It's a health insurance policy where, like, the same initiative has over 45,000 health workers who are trained to reach out to rural communities who are in dire need of health services. Every person is expected to have health insurance, and the government has been able to cover 90% of the citizens. And like many people, there are different health insurance policies, and as a person, you simply have to buy one. Sometimes you don't have money to go to the hospital, but you have an insurance policy, and this insurance policy will cover your medical bills, especially when you don't have money to pay for your medical bills. You simply go and you get the treatment. This helps to reduce your expenditure on medical bills. You don't pay because your medical bill may be so big, but you can pay for that medical bill over a period of maybe 2 years, depending. Some people, anyway, you make sure you stay healthy, not because try not to just say, okay, because I have a health insurance policy, I don't need to live a healthy life. You need to live a healthy life, but then the health insurance policy can help you when, in case of situations where you cannot control, maybe you catch an illness and you need to go to the hospital. You can never predict these health emergencies. You need to pay for this. So being part of an insurance policy or having an insurance policy will help you reduce the amount of money you spend on medical bills on a regular basis, because you are paying for your medical bills in small bits, so you don't feel the bite in one payment.
Come along and play with us.
Then we have the establishment of the Agaciro Development Fund, which has been very instrumental in promoting self-reliance among Rwandans. As a scheme, it's a homegrown solution. Many people have found it very useful in addressing their day-to-day needs, and you find that through this initiative, the people of Rwanda help to raise money for the fund annually. Like this money is raised by the people themselves. And the money that is raised through this fund helps the country to finance some of its own development programs. And this minimizes the rate of government borrowing from other countries. Remember, as a country, Rwanda needs to be self-reliant itself. And in order to reduce the level of borrowing from other countries, the government in turn has decided that the people themselves should be able to contribute some money to facilitate some of the development programs. And these programs help when you have this money that has been collected from the people running or facilitating some of the programs that the government is carrying out and conducting. You find that the government does not need to keep borrowing money every now and then from other countries or institutions of maybe like the World Bank. Because when you borrow money from other people, there's a way you get conditions that may not be very friendly for you as a country. There are conditions normally that are attached to this money, and sometimes the interest may not be very friendly over a long period of time. So the people, in a way, we need to contribute to the Agaciro Development Fund in order to reduce the level of borrowing that is done by our government. And then number 9, and lastly, there is the formation of cooperative societies, which are crucial in promoting a culture of self-reliance among the people. Rwandans have formed these societies in various areas and different parts of the country, and the government has facilitated these initiatives by creating an enabling environment for their formation and operation. You find that the people have pooled their resources together, and this enables them to develop economically. People are able to access finances through their cooperatives, which enables them to make investments. these cooperatives are very helpful in a sense that as an individual, you may not be able to do something because maybe you produce very little. You don't have enough money. But as part of a cooperative, you can easily produce in a large quantity. You can easily access the market if maybe you're a farmer. Like if you take part in, or if you join a cooperative, you can even easily access government funding, which in turn will help you develop faster. You can easily access maybe a loan from the bank, from the cooperative. Maybe your cooperative has a bank. You can access money because the government puts finances in these cooperatives. The government has a development fund or a development bank where these cooperatives can easily get money and give to their members in form of loans that usually have very low interest. And being able to access these funds in a way, and not even just in a small way, but to a larger extent, helps to make the members of the cooperative more self-reliant. First of all, you don't have to look for the market. You don't spend money looking for the market. Maybe if you're a farmer, the cooperative looks for the market for you. You simply sell to the cooperative and the cooperative pays you. At the end of the day, even the amount of work and money you may need to invest in selling becomes reduced because you have the cooperative doing most of the work for you. And the cooperative brings money or finances closer to you, which at the end of the day, you will use to help to improve your situation or your standard of living.
Come along and play with us.
Now, as we conclude our discussion today, we need to remember that it is our duty as citizens to participate in activities that build our country. Activities that make our communities much safer, much better for each and every citizen. It is also our duty to help those that need our help every time we get the opportunity to do so. We must support our government and the programs this government has put in place to promote self-reliance of individuals and the country as a whole. This is our duty as citizens, to ensure that we help one another to become more self-reliant and to help our country become more self-reliant. In our next lesson, we will talk about pluralism in the world. I want you to look for the meaning of pluralism. Pluralism is Pluralism. I want you to look at the meaning of that word, pluralism, that concept, and the different forms of pluralism. I want to wish you all the best. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, 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 teacher. Goodbye, children. See you next time. Goodbye, 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 teacher. Goodbye, children. See you next time.